D. Just getting the key of D. Yom Revi. D. Key of D by Yom Revi. That means Wednesday in Hebrew. Into the realm of the PL-89, into the realm of the higher time, into the realm of the Messiah time. It is simple to sing the tune, match the sun up with the moon, with the sun and before the moon, as per Psalm 72. It's true, please see Psalm 72, verse 5. Yirau Chaim Shamish V'vnei Reach Dor Dorim. It means may you be seen or you'll be feared with the moon, son of the moon, with the sun and before the moon, many generations. The two calendars are one. Match the moon up with the sun. Yaakov and Esav, Tikkun and Tov, and when our work is done, it's fun. This is the PL-89 Gematriatic Quantum Thought Calendar for Wednesday, March 18th, 2026. It's also the fourth day of the week, the 29th day of Adar. And is it the 29th day of Adar? And then tomorrow is the first of Nisan. Yeah, there's 29 days of Adar. Yeah. I'm going to check it to make sure. But, let's see here. Let's have a look. Yeah. Tonight is actually Aleph Nisan, right? So 18th. Adar is one of those months that only have 29 days. Yeah. Okay. This is the PL-89 Gematriatic Quantum Thought Calendar. And it's for Wednesday, March 18th, 2026, and the 29th day of Adar, 5786, Parsha Vayikra. Daf Yomi today is Menachot 66. On the solar, which means March 18th, it's always going to be in a box printed with the number 8 on it. Okay? And the 29th day of Adar will always be right here, 21. It's printed 21 on it. And since there's no 30 Adar, then what happens is that, see this box that says 30 here? You just skip it. It's considered part of today. The first day of Nisan has to be here. If there's days that have 30-day months, then, you put it in here. But if it's only 29-day month, like Adar, or let's say Elul, then 21 and 30 are considered the same box. Okay, now that being said, what's this all about? How is it used? Well, I'm trying to find patterns, gematriatic patterns in everywhere basically, and specifically in the Torah. And this is a way of just keeping it all in order, keeping it all in one place. And it's also pursuing my studies in my desire to understand what is known in Hebrew as the Sod HaIbur. This is the secret of the intercalation. This is, in general, what it means when there's a leap year, how the years are spaced out, these leap years, the intercalated years, in a 19-year Metonic cycle. And I'm really fascinated by this whole subject. And I'm fascinated because it was said that this calendar that we have Originally it was announced by, in the times of the Mishnah, it was announced by the Beit Din. It was actually, there was two witnesses that had to come and say we saw the moon at this time, and there's, Tractate Rosh Hashanah deals with that. But then as the time went on, and all, for many reasons, persecutions and people from within and without, or people from internal defectors, or enemies of Judaism from within Judaism, called the Kutim, or tried to mess it up. You can read about that in Tractate Rosh Hashanah. And then, of course, the persecutions from without, the Romans, and it was just, they made the decision that it was in the time of Hillel, the smaller, I think, not Hillel the Hazaken, the Hillel and Shammai, but the one that came a few hundred years afterwards. I think he was in Amora. I think it was established actually in 358, which is interesting, because it said that this calendar, this Jewish calendar, Hebrew calendar we have, will last until the coming of Mashiach. And that means that there's a set time on the calendar. So can you find out within the calendar how long this calendar will last? Those are one of my quandaries. But this is a Gregorian calendar and a Hebrew calendar together in one. And as you can see, you might be counting the number of boxes here. Maybe not. It's hard to count them all, but you can see that it's not 365 days and it's not 354 either. So how do you use it as a calendar for Hebrew and English? Well, this is 90 days. It's a quarter. Roughly 90 days. It can expand and contract as needed. But basically what you're seeing here is 8 columns and 10 rows. So that's 80. Now 80 days is close to 3 months, but it's not 90 days. So where is that extra 10 days coming from? Well, it's right here. And I'm not being funny, I'm not being silly. It's an invisible time period, which is very real in terms of its accountability. It's being notated. Its notation. It's called 10-day twilight. It's the last 10 days of any 3 months, or any 90-day period. And it's just known as, you don't need boxes, or you could put, in your mind, make their box of T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, up until T10, or T11 sometimes, depending if it's January 31st, it'd be T11. But it's the last 10 or 11, or conversely, 9 days for that matter, depending. If the last month is, if we're in a different dispensation where a mutable month is the last month, then Adar 29 would only have 29 days. Elul only has 29 days, and you use every tekufa, every season, every quarter, roughly 90 days. The count starts over again, and this is known as a mercurial year, because this is going from just published data. So that the planet Mercury orbits the sun every 88 point something days, every 87 point something days, about 88 days, which is just about 90 days. So a whole year for Mercury is 3 months for us. So there's 4 Mercury years in one Earth year, and so this calendar, it's like a yearly calendar of if you lived on planet Mercury, and planet Mercury has a lot to do with this, but it's not for now. But just one interesting connection is that the amount, this is referred to as the PL-89, because it can be referred to as 80 squares because you can see only 80 squares, but it's also 90 squares because of what I just explained. So when it is regarding the PL-89, it is proper to say that 80 can be associated with it because it's 80 seen squares. So 80 was the age, that number was the age of Moses, the first redeemer of Israel. He was 80 years old when he stood before Pharaoh in the story of the Exodus, when the 10 plagues happened. So already there's a theme of redemption there. But 80 is the atomic number of the chemical element of mercury. The element, is it chemical? Is it rock? I'm not sure. Is it? I'm not. It could be a chemical, but it's mercury is the 80 is the atomic number of mercury, and there are 80 squares here. But the planet Mercury is connected to this too. So it's like the planet and the element and Moses. And so basically, the way this calendar is made, the numbers here, it's a little bit long to explain, so I won't go through that right now. But the 18th day of March, as would be the 18th day of Adar, or the 18th day of Sivan, or the 18th day of June, or the 18th day of September, or Elul, or December, or Kislev. You notice they only said the mutable months. I didn't say July or say November. Because the mutable months in Dispensation 3, which we're in right now, always go, and 18th would be right here. Box printed with 8 on it. Okay? And the 29th will always be 21, right here. You could say 21 and a 30, but it's really 21. Because if Adar would have a 30 days, it would be 30. When March goes, when we hit March 30th, it will go here. In fact, March 31st will stay in here. We'll stay in box 30. So it depends what kind of month you have. Adar has 29 days. March will have 31 days. But either way, April will have to be here, and Nisan will have to start here. And the box is printed 38 on it. It doesn't make a difference what the month is before. It either stays there or it jumps another box, but it doesn't pass. It doesn't go into the next thing. That's how it keeps its structure. And so 21 plus 8 is 29. And 29 has a numerical value of 149 in English Gematria. Meaning if you write 29 as a word, T-W-E-N-T-Y, N-I-N-E, and you add those up, A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, if you add those letters up, it'll come to 149. And then 149, you can write that out, 149, and then you get another number. I think you get 267, which is the numerical value of Rabbi Menachem Mendel Schneerson. And it goes on, so on and so forth. And it's really an amazing process that I don't quite understand yet, but when you do this process over and over again, meaning you turn a word into a number into a word, and they're all just numbers. It's just a number in word form, like 29, T-W-E-N-T-Y, or the numbers 209. You keep doing that process, and it gets to a point where only a few iterations after that, it comes back to that one. Like 240 is one of them. 240, it becomes like 216, and then 228, 2 something, and then 255, and 255 equals 240. So it comes back around in circles, and that's an infinity feedback loop. It's going to stay there. So 240 is one of those kind of numbers, and other numbers can reach 240 through different numbers that equal some kind of pathway, some kind of tributary that will take you there. Tributary. I was looking for the word like stream. Tributary. Yeah, I think so. Anyway, so these and how do they all lead, these different streams of number patterns? How do they all converge in these certain numbers that lead you to an infinity, to a repeat? Let's put it that way, an infinite repeat. And furthermore, once you found out how that works, could that have an application in understanding language in a mathematical way? These are the quandaries, one of the quandaries handled by the PL-89. Oh yeah, and if you have any comments, questions, if you're a mathematician and you can explain what kind of math this is it arithmetic? If it doesn't seem like it's so much like arithmetic, it's more like alphanumeric coding in some way. Is that mathematics? I don't know. It's all just amateur for me. It's all just a personal interest. But if you have an interest in it, if you study this kind of math, I'd be very happy to hear whatever you have to say about it. Thanks for listening.